All right, good morning. Sorry you missed the meeting last night. It was a pretty good meeting. We had a really good turnout, so I figured this morning that I'll put together a little bit of a video on what we went over last night. Try to do pretty quickly. So, a couple of announcements. We will be having a cinematography workshop next Tuesday, 6 o'clock. I'm going to try again for library room 209. It's the biggest room they got. It has a nice table, can accommodate a lot of us, and there was a good amount last night at the meeting, so I'm going to need a bigger room. I hope your guys' projects are going well. I know with my group we're still working on a couple of things. One group is already done, and for those of you who are doing individual projects, just keep plugging along. Everything is due to me by the 27th of September. We'll have a meeting where we'll just turn it in, discuss what's going to happen the next week. I'm planning on us being able to rent out the movie theater that's in the Sharwin-Smith, have a nice little movie night where we watch everyone's products, and then we go straight into the club projects, depending on how many scripts I get in by the beginning of October. So without much further ado, and welcome to my messy kitchen, we'll get started. Alright, so we're going to talk about the difference between a screenplay, a production script, and then how a production script goes into a storyboard. So when you're writing your screenplay, what you're going to want to do, and I just wrote quickly down a piece of paper, is you want something that's basically just the title of your script, who it's by, and then your contact information, name, number, email, address. That's what they have on the professional script, so that way they can be contacted if the script is purchased. Margins for all theater scripts, normally on a Word document, is 1-inch margin. For a script, it's going to be 1.5 margin, and that's to allow the 3-hole punch for brads, so the script to be copied together. Now, your second page, I want just a brief summary of your story. So basically, think Spark Notes or whatever. Just a brief overview of what the story is, and then below that is a character and character description. So John, male, 23, athletic build, and whatever information you think is important for the casting of the characters. Now, that is not finite. It may change during the pre-production at the whim of the director and the production team. Now, font for this is Courier size 12, and the reason why it's Courier size 12 is because at that type of formatting, it can take, a page is supposed to be roughly a minute. So you'll see scripts for full feature-length productions at about 90 to, I use the example of, say, the 6-hour Pride and Prejudice movie, so you can imagine how big that script was. So going on from there, basically the outline of the script is a brief scene description of the scene that's going to be going on. I like to use the example from Good Will Hunting, where Robin Williams and Matt Damon are on the bench. So scene, and then that's where you go into the scene setting. So it's exterior, interior, night, day, and they're all in all caps. So for that bench scene, it would be exterior, day, park bench, something like that. And then you go right into the dialogue. There, as a screenplay writer, you're supposed to not put in production notes. You do not do camera angles, you do not do major action and everything. That's the job for the director. If you do that, you're taking it away from the director, and it's not his vision. He's the one that decides how the camera's going to capture the words on the page. So be as minimalist as you can. You could have stands up, like just minor actions that you can have going on. But other than that, leave that to the director. Just focus on the dialogue and focus on making the coherent story as you're going. As you're writing, you may have the image for it in your head, and that's perfectly fine. Just know that once it's in the hand of the director, it is out of your hands, and whatever product he comes up with, you just have to live with because he bought your script. So, and it just goes on from there, so you can have, and another formatting for that. So name, like any dialogue, is middle of the script. So the character's name, center margins, dialogue in parentheses, not parentheses, quotation marks, excuse me, quotation marks, and then you just continue along, name, center space, and name, write it out, quotation marks, enter, drop it down a space in between, add another name. If you need to add a minor action, it's in the left margin, and put it in parentheses, so just like a little small note. And that's pretty much it for screenwriting. Now, taking from a screenplay to a production script, that's when you add in all of the minor things, the character actions. This is basically the director putting his notes down. So you could have, say there's the scene setting, and then you have automatically a camera action. So camera pulls in on say the bench, and then right next to that, character action, character walks in, frame left. And so you just do that shot per shot per shot. So your production script is going to be really, really intense. And then you have just like the dialogue, and then you could have parentheses action while the dialogue is speaking, stands up while speaking, or reacts angrily while speaking. And this is something that you can use to help coach your actors as you're going through the scene, what you expect them to do. And it just goes on. So camera action, character action, and you can change it up to fit your vision of it, dialogue, and it just goes on and on and on. I have to make this quick because my son just woke up. So now a storyboard is pretty much a visual representation of your production script. So it's in a grid pattern, and you just basically draw out what you want to have happen in that scene. So say you have a person, camera starts on the person starts walking, and you can draw arrows for the direction of movement. You can have an arrow for the camera movement like this, and you can change it up. So say the character's watching this way, and you can have the arrow face the other way, so that way they're kind of converging as they walk through, and that creates a nice little thing, and draw what you want the camera to see. So if you want a close-up, draw the close-up in your story frame. If you want an extreme close-up, draw that. And this is so that way as we're going through production, you can show the cameraman, this is the shot I want, try and get this shot. And it goes really a lot quicker. In the professional world, they also take this one step forward, and they have an animated storyboard where basically it's a cartoon pretty much of the movie, and it's just like these taken out and put kind of like a flip book almost. So we don't have that yet, but that'd be cool if we can get to that point. But right now, as writers and directors, that's what I want you to focus on, is coming up with the script and changing that script to a production script, and then creating a storyboard of that script. Now, if any of you are interested, we are going to be doing hopefully 1 or 2 production club productions come October. We already have 1 script in, but there is room for more. And we do have an older script that was written last semester, but I also want fresh material to come in so that way we can pick on it, and also have kind of start building up a stockpile of scripts that once we're done with our project, we can just pick up another one and go. So if you're interested in writing a script, feel free to go ahead and start doing it. Follow the format. Think of your limitations here in Cedar City. Right now we're a no budget club. We don't have much money, so think modern, not technical, really focus on the story, and you don't need to complicate it either. Last semester we had a script that involved 2 people, and it was pretty dialogue heavy. The director made the call to cut out a person and cut out the dialogue, and it worked just fine. So really, as you're writing these scripts, think about your location, the story you want to tell, and what you have available to tell it, and then just go at it. I would like anything between 4 to 10 pages. I'd like us to start branching out and expanding the length of our short products and all that stuff. But if you want to write if you can write a really good long form story for us to do, then that's something that we can look at and really try to get a hold on. Um, Other than that, I don't have any more announcements other than the fact that I'm really happy with how the club is going so far. I really hope that you guys are coming along on your projects. I'll say it again, we are going to have a cinematography workshop this coming Tuesday, the 20th. I'm going to try again for library 209. Yeah, I think that's what I put out, 209. I'll send out an email and just keep plugging along with that. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know. I prefer email because I can check that periodically throughout the day, and I don't feel like I missed a call and I'm not interrupting you with like a text message or something. And I'm able to send out a lot more mass messages through email than with text. I'm much more comfortable with it that way. So if in case you guys are wondering, if you're having any problems within your group, like if someone's not, being workable, like they're being very complicated to work with or anything, please bring it up with me. I'm going to be choosing, come near the 1st of October, a production staff to help me with, especially if we're going to have multiple projects going. And us and my staff members will be able to deal with that issue as things come along. I hope you guys are having a good time. I'm having a good time, and I'm glad we're able to make it work so far. So once again, if you have any questions, just let me know. I hope this information was helpful. If you would like to add anything to it, please tell me. Great resources online. When I was prepping for the meeting last night, I just Googled screenplay formats, and I came up with a whole list. That's how I knew the margins, and that's how I knew about the font and everything. So if you have any questions, look online, and you can also feel free to ask me or your peers. Other than that, I hope you guys have a good day. I'll see you guys next week.